What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 most heavily shorted EV stocks in the market as of right now. So I'm going to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. And also on a side note, I'm going to add 2 bonuses at the very end. That is EV chargers. So I'm going to go over the top 2 for that. Starting off with stock number 5. So you do have Canoo, tickers GOEV. On Tuesday, it did go up 3.73%. So that's obviously when I'm doing this video. Over the last 1 year, it is down 82.62%. In 2024, down 53.01%. Recently, Bloomberg did put out an article saying that shorts are kind of in a difficult scenario, that many of them were kind of anticipating negative CPI data to come out. And of course, they didn't really go according to plan. But despite that, though, much of them have maintained their position, kind of anticipating further negative data. But that negative data has not come. So shorts are kind of stuck in a very difficult scenario. So Bloomberg didn't say, hey, a lot of stocks are going to start to squeeze. But if you read between the lines, that's kind of what it's saying. And a lot of the stocks I'm going to be talking on is considered risky stocks coming from a broker standpoint. And so that does mean whoever is shorting will need to have a lot of margin just as kind of a backup. So for instance, in Canoo's case, I'm not going to go over this for every single one, but just as an example, over the last 5 days, it is up 22.47%. So whoever is shorting Canoo has to have a massive amount of margin to maintain that. So definitely kind of puts it in perspective. Once I go over some of the other data in a second, like it kind of goes to show that shorts are very overextended and they can't really maintain this for much longer. So again, Bloomberg definitely is saying that, or indirectly saying that there is kind of a squeeze. So interesting circumstance for that. 18.51% of the free float's being shorted, 12.24 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is very high, so 373.22%, max being 454%. On Tuesday, shorts did return 169,000 shares, utilization 95.66, and then short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 87.52. I'm not going to go over all this data at the top right here, so there's a lot of other additional information if you want to kind of dive deep, so just pause it, read through it. Similar goes for right here. There's a lot of good data right here. On a side note, if you're looking for a lot of good kind of information such as this, recent press releases, SEC filings, like everything that you ever need to know about upcoming earnings, analyst expectations, take a look at Seeking Alpha Premium for a 7-day free trial. Link in the description below and also the comments. Moving on to stock number 4. This one actually was stock number 2 like a month ago, but has slowly kind of gone down. RIVN. So RIVN on Tuesday did go up 2.51% over the last 1 year, down 25.22%, and just in 2024 down 23.53%. Another stock over the last 5 days that has been doing fairly well, actually even more so in the last month, up 62.57. And sorry, I don't know if I actually said down, but I meant up, obviously. But right now, looking here, 18.45% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 130.7 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 62.59. On Tuesday, shorts did return about 238,000 shares. Very low cost to borrow, so 0.95%. Shorts have actually returned a little bit over this last kind of dip right here, so over the last week, but still nonetheless, a lot of shorts are in RIVN, especially given the circumstances of everything that they've been doing. I have brought this up in previous videos just for shits and giggles, kind of entertainment value. Right now, $2.29 billion in shorts are in RIVN right now, dollar value. And so just going back over here, so just so you guys are aware, for my videos, I go through all the short interest of every single one of these EVs, and just to obviously make sure I cover all the bases so you guys have the most accurate information. A lot of people are always questioning why NEO's on there. It's always about 6th or 7th position, just on a side note, but with that level, $2.29 billion of shorts, basically it looks like Polestar down. So there's more dollar value shorting RIVN than the whole market cap of Polestar. So kind of puts it in perspective on how crazy that is. But still, nonetheless, moving on to stock number 3. This one again has kind of dropped in kind of from second to third position from last video, and that is MULN. So on Tuesday it did go down 7.04%, a new 52-week low at $1.08. Over the last 1 year, down 98.71%, down 87.05% in 2024 alone. But 19.68% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 2.83 million shares. Shorts did increase in their case on Tuesday, 65,000 shares. Utilization 69.48, and then short score is 81.08. Cost to borrow average is fairly high as well, so 220.52%. And similar to RIVN, shorts did return a small amount over this last week. So went from around 27% short interest to where it is now. So this is why, like I said, it went from kind of position number 2 to where it is now. So nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on that. Also, while I do go through any of these, if you own them, give yourself a shout out in the comments below. Moving on to stock number 2, this one has actually picked up quite a lot, and that's NKLA, ticker's NKLA, up 3.26% just on Tuesday. Over the last 1 year, down 85.74, and in 2024 down 62.03. But moving on, right now 22.88% of the free float is being shorted. A little bit of a glitch there, but that works out to be 10.03 million shares. On Tuesday, shorts did increase roughly around 60,000 shares, or 60.35. Utilization is a 65.39, and then short score is 86.25. Cost to borrow average is a little bit lower in comparison to, for instance, MULN. So 56.18. You do see cost to borrow minimum very low, so 0.35. So really incentivizing shorting. In some cases, you've seen RIVN and some other EVs with a cost to borrow negative. That does mean there is a broker out there physically paying people to short various stocks. But still, as you can kind of see, the max being 100, cost to borrow average being 56. So this broker, unfortunately, we can't really determine who it is, but that broker is really incentivizing shorting, especially by offering 0.35%. Just so you guys are aware, this cost to borrow is an annual rate. So they're not going to charge 56% every single day. That's on an annual rate. So kind of just be aware of that. And moving on to stock number 1, still holding its kind of crown, if you want to call it that, and Lucid. Lucid's done phenomenal over this last little bit. On Tuesday, up 9.97%. Over the last 1 year, down 43.53%, and in 2024 it is down 5.7%. So very close to break even finally. And just to give you an overview, over the last 5 days it is up 22.19%, but still very heavily shorted. So 27.55% of the free float's being shorted, works out to be 243.99 million shares. On Tuesday, shorts did return about 617,000 shares. Utilization is 89.94. Short score 93.85, and then cost to borrow average is 22.94, and then you have that low cost to borrow, or the minimum for that. And one thing to note when it comes down to shorts, you don't see that crazy activity that you saw, for instance, with NKLA and RIVN, and actually I think even MULN, where it went down dramatically over this last week. That hasn't happened with Lucid. So Lucid shorts, I feel like the Bloomberg article is speaking to Lucid, because whoever's shorting Lucid is very, very stubborn little shits. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting circumstance, and yeah, so ultimately Lucid is stock number 1. Moving on to the 2 EV stocks, so the 2 most heavily shorted EV charging stocks, I should clarify. Number 2 is this right here, so ChargePoint. ChargePoint similarly has been doing fairly good over the last several trading days, up 8.72% on Tuesday. Over the last 1 year, down 72.63%, and in 2024, round of applause, it is green, up 1.28%. But interesting note is both of the EV charging stations are completely well above all the EV stocks. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting circumstance, but 27.6% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 108.11 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts returned 1.93 million, utilization 84.03, and then short score is 88 0.3. And then as you can kind of see, the cost of borrows are right there. And yes, similar nature to the other EVs, you did have that dip that was roughly around 1 week ago. It kind of had that return. And moving on to the first most heavily shorted, I guess if you want to consider it, EV sector stock, and that is EZGO. Ticker is EZGO. Pretty simple. So up roughly 2% on Tuesday. Over the last 1 year, it is down 6.41%. And in 2024, phenomenal growth over this last little bit. It is up 14.25%. Over the last 1 month, up nearly 100%. So definitely it pays off. And again, this definitely has a lot of shorts in it, and they have been very stubborn. So 31.36% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 31.19 million shares overall are being shorted. Similar to Lucid, these shorts are very stubborn. So they haven't had any crazy dips or anything like that. They've been somewhat maintaining. On Tuesday, shorts did increase around 259,000 shares. So yeah, all in all, very, very unique circumstance that we are in, not necessarily just with EV stocks, but as a whole on what has been happening. I've done some independent, individual stock videos where I've been talking about a broader rotation that is starting to happen. And yeah, so that definitely could make the whole market go up very, very fast, thus really screwing over a lot of shorts. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.